Good morning. Welcome to Thursday, and we are dealing with Luke chapter 12, verses 49 through 59 this week. And the focus of our attention has been the need for discernment in the last days. This morning, what we're going to focus in on is the danger of procrastination and how the text in front of us warns us to be diligent about preparing for that day. So Luke chapter 12 is where we are. Let's read the text again together. We'll read a portion of these verses and then jump into the topic of the day. Here's what the Lord Jesus said. He said, I'm come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with. And how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. And then he goes on to say, and he said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway you say, there cometh a shower. And so it is. When ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth. But how is it that you do not discern this time? Now, discernment is something that presses us so that we are not procrastinating about matters that are related to eternity and our souls. And we see this in verses 54 to 59, towards the end of this section. He says, when you see a cloud rise in the west, you say, there cometh a shower. When you see a south wind, you say, there will be heat. Now he's talking about how a person living in that region, when they saw clouds on the west, it meant storms were coming off of the Mediterranean Sea. And when they felt wind blowing out of the south, they knew that the wind was blowing from a desert area and it was going to be hot and dry. The point is that people had the ability to recognize what was about to take place physically based on their surroundings. But he says you do not have the ability to recognize what is most important. And that is that the Lord Jesus is going to return. And when he returns, you're going to be in trouble if you're not ready for him. And so he gives this parable. He says, if you go with an adversary to the magistrate, as you're in the way, give diligence that thou mayest be delivered from him, lest he hale thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and the officer cast thee into prison. I tell you, thou shalt not depart thence till you have paid the last mite. He's stressing the urgency of settling with a person that is going to take you to stand before a judge. And so the point is, he says, don't procrastinate. He's making his point with two illustrations. The person that can see the sky and predict the weather, and the person who would be much better if they would swallow their pride and settle with someone who is taking them to court, so that they don't have to face the wrath of the court. Why does Jesus give these two illustrations? It's his way of saying you need to prepare by looking at what is around you and observing what the scriptures have stated. The point of his illustration is that many people are practical and sensible about things that matter, but they are of lesser importance than the most important issues. Verse 26 says, what is a man profit? Matthew 16:26 says, what is a man profited if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for a soul? Jesus is saying, if you could gain everything that this world has to offer, but you don't have eternity, you have nothing. You have a huge problem on your hands. So the question is, how do we apply this? What are the applications, the implications, some final thoughts about what we've read here? Well, the first is a question. The question is, why are these people not practical and sensible about the state of their souls? Or maybe we should ask not the question of how they are not, but why is it that we sometimes ourselves are not practical and sensible about the state of our souls? The answer is that it's because of pride. It's because of hypocrisy. It's because of indwelling sin. Our sin nature takes the truth that is so apparent and so evident before us, and it desires to suppress it and to press it down and to ignore it. And that is the point that Jesus is making. People who can see simple things cannot see and do not consider the most important things. And so what is the resolution? Well, the resolution is one word. It's discernment. Discerning people are motivated to care for the state of their soul. Discerning people are people who properly prioritize the most important things. And so I want to challenge you this morning or this evening or whenever you're reading, whenever you're watching these videos or listening to these audios, do not delay. Discern the times. Be motivated. Be moved to make sure that your soul is in the place it needs to be. May God help us to properly prioritize the focus of our lives. I hope that you've enjoyed this, that it's challenged you, and if it has been an encouragement, please share that. If you think someone could benefit by it, share it on your Facebook feed or wherever you share things. And Lord willing, tomorrow we'll meet for our final and concluding part where we consider the rest of what's in front of us. Have a blessed rest of your day. Lord willing, we'll meet again tomorrow. Bye now.